everyone, as promised, 1 year later, what worked and what didn't in our 2005 Four Winds motorhome renovation. One of the last things we did was actually the curtain that goes here for the cab. And what I did was I used snaps to snap this on, and it worked really, really well. I could just easily pull this off and then snap it back on again. And this worked really nice because the curtains are lined with like blackout fabric. So it keeps it a lot cooler in here when it's hot out, but when it's cold out, it also keeps it warmer. One of the best things I did was make this so you could open it up. And so we could put things in here that we didn't have room for inside the motorhome and camping. And actually we just went camping last week, and we used this to actually put our pop bottles and stuff in there. We just put like a paper bag in there and threw all of our pop bottles in. But yeah, this worked out great, you know, being able to open this up. And then of course all of my sewing projects turned out really well, and they still look great. All the upholstery on the banquette cushions that I did, all of the beautiful custom pillows, and all of the curtains that I made. I mean, they all still look wonderful. Now, one of the video that we got the most views on is the flooring. The flooring still looks fabulous. Nothing moved, nothing buckled, and it just looks perfect, just as the day that we put it down. Now, please excuse the dog hair if you see any in the video. I haven't had a chance to clean the RV out yet since we came back from camping, so little Emmy hair is all over the motorhome, but the flooring still looks great. I highly recommend, if you're doing a peel and stick flooring, especially one that was not very expensive. This was one of the least expensive ones out on the market, that you use some kind of a construction adhesive to put it down. This stuff hasn't moved and it looks great. Now the wallpaper on the inside of the door where you come in still looks beautiful, just as nice as it did the day we put it up. We used the same wallpaper around the bottom of the banquette, and it looks fabulous as well. Really, really nice. Nothing moved. The bathroom, which is my favorite wallpaper of all in the whole motorhome, still looks beautiful. It hasn't buckled, it hasn't bubbled, the seams haven't come apart. It looks just as beautiful as the day that we put it up. I highly recommend that if you're going to use peel and stick wallpaper, to use Easy Hang wallpaper spray. It helps you to reposition it, and also helps, I think, to adhere it to the wall just a little bit better. Now, the only problem that we had with wallpaper in the whole motorhome was in the back bedroom area, and this happened right away, and I talked about it in my video when doing the bedroom. I put it up, it looked beautiful, and a day later I came out and there was bubbles underneath the paper in certain areas. I absolutely could not figure out why, since all of the paper looked great everywhere else in the motorhome. I really to this day cannot explain it. And I said in my video last year, I'm going to wait and see what happens. Maybe it'll fall off the wall, maybe it will stay, maybe it will get worse. I didn't know. But fast forward a whole year later, I'm sitting through extreme cold temperatures, because we do live in the mitten state and it gets super cold in the winter, and extreme heat in the summertime. It still looks exactly like it did the day that I put it up. The little bubbles are still there, but the wallpaper hasn't shifted, moved, or came down at all. And so I'm just going to leave it, because you really can't even see it unless you look really closely. Now the backsplash in the kitchen, that looks beautiful. Again, it looks just like it did the day that I put it up. It hasn't moved, it hasn't bubbled, nothing. And again, when you're using peel and stick backsplash, I used super glue, and I put a little dot of glue on every corner before I put that backsplash on, and like I said, it looks perfect. Also, prepping your walls is super, super important. I sanded those walls down and cleaned them really well before I even put the tiles up to begin with. So make sure that you do the prep, and I guarantee you those things will stick. And I used like a medium grade. I didn't use the most expensive peel and stick tiles out there, but I didn't use the cheapest ones either. I just used sort of a medium grade. Now the paint, oh my gosh, that's another thing. I got lots of questions on the paint for the motorhome. It looks great. The paint has not chipped or peeled or faded or anything. And again, this motorhome is under extreme temperatures in Michigan, you know, with hot and cold. The paint looks beautiful, just like the day I put it on. On the walls, on the cabinetry, everything still looks beautiful. And again, prepping is the key to getting a really good paint job in your motorhome. I sanded down the walls, I cleaned it really well before I painted. And then with the cabinetry, after I got the paint on, I used a wax. I'm telling you, the wax makes all the difference in the world. It just sort of seals the paint and protects it as well. I used Amy Howard wax, and it just really, really works, and I highly recommend waxing it. Now, one of the things that I'm really most surprised about is the countertop in the bathroom. I really had my doubts on this, you know, putting like a peel and stick like wallpaper or contact paper on the countertop in there. I'm like, yeah, this probably is not going to last. It's not going to work. And I am telling you, it looks perfect. It looks just like it did when we put it on. And we've camped in this motorhome a couple of times now, a few times since I did put that paper on, and it still looks like $1,000,000. I did buy a more heavy duty paper for this, you know, to give the marble look, but oh my gosh, this paper, it just, and I mean, I'm telling you, we've splashed water all over this countertop and you know, used it for, you know, all kinds of things, and it still looks perfect. So that was a really, really good surprise. I mean, I couldn't have been more surprised at how nice it still looks. Now the countertops, they still look beautiful as well. And Rick and I made these countertops. We went to Menards and we picked up the material and we cut it down, we sanded it, we stained it, and I didn't polyurethane it, I waxed it. And I put several coats of food-safe wax on these countertops because obviously we're going to be using it for food. And also the same thing for the banquet table, and it still looks beautiful. I mean, and I've washed and washed and washed it. I am going to put some more coats of wax on it this summer though, just to protect it, but it looks beautiful as well. Now, the only problem I can say that we had in this motorhome at all was the shower. And the shower, the walls still look fabulous after I painted it with the Rust-Oleum tub and tile painting kit. And the only problem I had was there's these little buttons that cover the screws and the top and the bottom. And on the bottom, the paint just cracked ever so slightly around where those screws are. And I was actually kind of surprised because I used the very same paint in our camper, and we had the camper for a couple of years and camped in it several times, and the paint was perfectly fine. So I was surprised when I came out this spring and saw that there was some little cracks in the paint just around those little button caps. They're not at the top, just at the bottom. But you have to remember, this is a moving machine. You're going down the road, everything is going like this, so you can't expect everything to stay perfect. But the walls and the flooring, everything still looks perfect. It hasn't cracked or peeled or chipped in any way, and we took showers in it just last week when we were camping, and it still looks wonderful. So I would still give that a really high rating because that was actually hands down the biggest transformation in this whole RV motorhome, was painting that shower, because the old one it wasn't just yellow, it was orange, and it was really badly stained, especially in the bottom. And I thought, man, I might have to do several coats of this paint, you know, to get it to even look halfway decent. And I didn't. I did 2 coats and it looked like a brand new shower, and it still does. So really, really happy with the way that the shower turned out. Okay, Rick's first catch of the day. What is it, a walleye? Oh, smallmouth bass. Awesome! Up next, I'm going to be doing my dining room transformation in my 1927 vintage bungalow house. I bought some beautiful wallpaper and I can't wait to show it to you. And this room is just going to look fabulous when I get it all done. So I hope that you stay tuned to watch that upcoming video. And as always, Rick and I would like to thank you all so much for watching today's video. We love you guys and we'll see you all soon. Goodbye. Oh, and happy camping and happy trails. Bye-bye.